Hello again, future social studies teachers. Welcome to part two of our social studies majorship review. If you haven't watched part one yet, be sure to check it out. Okay, for in this session, we'll continue with another set of 15 multiple choice questions covering history, geography, economics, political science, and more. Remember, each question comes with a rationalization to help you master the concepts well. Okay, let's get started. Number 16. Which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of opportunity cost in economics? Letter A. A company decides to increase production of its most profitable product. Letter B. A student chooses to spend an evening studying for an exam instead of going to a concert. Letter C, a government lowers taxes to stimulate economic growth. Or letter D, a consumer buys a product on sale. The best answer is letter B. Again, we are talking about opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Let me highlight this one. Okay, so opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative foregone when making a decision. Okay, in this case, the student gives up the enjoyment of the concert to study. So the concert is the opportunity cost of studying. Okay, so letter B is the best answer. Um, for letter A, it's incorrect because letter A describes a business decision but doesn't clarify. Yeah, it doesn't clarify or illustrate opportunity cost. For letter C, um, this one this relates to macroeconomic policy decisions for letter C. And for letter D, this relates to consumer behavior and purchasing decisions but doesn't directly show opportunity cost. So letter B is the best answer. Number 17. Which of the following scenarios presents the most complex ethical dilemma for a social scientist conducting research? Letter A. A researcher carefully obtains informed consent from all participants in a study about voting behavior. Letter B. A researcher studies public records to analyze demographic trends in a city. Letter C. A researcher wants to study the effect of a controversial social media campaign but worries that revealing their research could influence the campaign itself. Or letter D. A researcher uses anonymous surveys to collect data on sensitive topics like drug use. All right, the best answer, of course, it's letter C. Okay, letter C is the best answer. Again, we are talking about ethical dilemma, and for letter C, this scenario presents a complex ethical dilemma because the researchers' desire to study the campaign scientifically clashes with the potential impact of their research on the campaign itself. So this involves questions of objectivity, potential bias, and unintended consequences. So letter C is the best answer. Now for letters A, B, and D, while ethical considerations are always important, these scenarios represent more standard ethical practices in social science research. So informed consent, using public, this one, informed consent, using public records and anonymous surveys are all generally accepted methods designed to minimize ethical problems. So letter C is the best answer. Number 18. Which of the following best illustrates the limitation of applying purely rational choice theory to understand human behavior? Letter A. People consistently make decisions or choices that maximize their self-interest. Letter B. People often donate to charity even if there is no direct personal benefit. Letter C. Businesses always seek to They always seek to maximize profits. Or letter D, governments make decisions based on cost benefit analysis. The best answer is letter B. We are talking about rational choice theory, and rational choice theory assumes individuals make decisions based on maximizing their own benefits, like donating to charity, especially when anonymous, often contradicts this assumption and there's no clear self interest being served. So, this highlights the limitation of relying solely on rational choice theory as it doesn't fully account for altruism and other non rational motivations. Okay, so letter B is the best answer. Letters A, C, and D, these scenarios are more in line with the predictions of rational choice theory. Just predictions. Okay. Number 19. Which of the following is the most nuanced understanding of the relationship between culture and environment? Letter A, environment completely determines cultural development. Letter B, culture has no impact on the environment. Letter C, culture and environment are interconnected and influence each other in complex ways. Or letter D, culture is simply a reflection of the environment. Okay, the best answer is letter C. So letter C recognizes the complex reciprocal relationship of the environment and culture. So the environment can shape cultural development. We all know that. Yep, like resource availability influencing economic practices. But culture also shapes how people interact with and modify their environments, like through technology, agriculture, or land use practices. Okay, so letter C is the best answer. Now, letters A, B, and D, these options present overly simplistic and deterministic views. So, letter C is the best answer. Number 20. Which of the following is a potential drawback of using quantitative methods in social science research? Letter A, they can provide rich, detailed insights into individual experiences. Letter B, they may oversimplify complex social phenomena and miss nuances. Letter C, they are difficult to replicate. Or letter D, they cannot be used to identify patterns and trends. Okay, the best answer is letter B. Okay, while quantitative methods are valuable for yeah, these kind of method is valuable for identifying patterns and trends. They can sometimes oversimplify patterns and trends. They can sometimes oversimplify complex social issues by reducing them to numerical data. So nuances, individual experiences, and context can be lost in the process. So this is the potential drawback of using quantitative research. So letter B is the best answer. For letters A, C, and D, these are not typical drawbacks of quantitative research because for letter A, this is more of a strength. For letter C, this is often easier with quantitative methods. Yeah, it's not difficult. And for letter D, this is opposite of the truth. So letter B is the best answer. Now, 21. Which of the following scenarios best demonstrates the concept of cultural relativism? Letter A. A traveler criticizes the food in a foreign country because it is different from what they are used to. Letter B. A sociologist attempts to understand the religious practices of a particular culture within their own cultural context without judging them based on their own beliefs. Letter C, a historian argues that certain cultures are inherently superior to others. Or letter D, an anthropologist refuses to study cultures that they find morally objectionable. The best answer is letter B. We are talking about cultural relativism, and cultural relativism is the principle of understanding and evaluating a culture on its own terms rather than judging it by the standard of one's own culture. So, for letter B, the sociologist's approach exemplifies cultural relativism. Um, for letters A, C, and D, these options demonstrate ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism means judging other cultures based on our own standards, or judging other cultures by one's own standards, or refusal to engage with different cultures respectfully. Yep, so letter B is the best answer. Number 22. A society experiences rapid technological advancement. Which of the following potential consequences is the least predictable and most dependent on specific social and cultural context? Letter A, increased productivity and economic growth. Letter B, changes in social interactions and communication patterns. Letter C, shifts in deeply held cultural values and beliefs. Or letter D, the development of new forms of artistic expressions. Okay, the best answer is letter C. Because, okay, this one, while technology can influence values and beliefs, the extent and direction of those shifts are highly variable and it depends on the specific cultural context. So, um, some societies might readily embrace technological changes that challenge traditional values, while others might resist them strongly. So, this makes it the least predictable outcome. The letter C is the best answer. For letters A, B, and D, these consequences are more directly and predictably linked to technological advancements. Increased productivity, the change in communication, and new art forms are all likely outcomes, even if the specific forms they are culturally influenced. Yeah. Number 23. Two neighboring countries adopt a very different approaches to environmental regulation. Um, Country X implements strict regulations and heavy fines for polluters. Country Y prioritizes voluntary compliance and offers incentives for environmentally friendly practices. Which of the following outcomes is the least certain? Letter A, country X will experience a decrease in industrial pollution. Letter B, country Y will experience increased innovation in green technologies. Letter C, country X will have a stronger economy in long term. Letter D, country Y will have higher levels of business satisfaction. Alright, the best answer is letter C. Because while strict environmental regulation can contribute to a stronger economy in the long run, like through reduced healthcare costs or resource preservation and more, it's not a guaranteed outcome. Again, we are talking about the least certain. Okay, this one. So, that's why letter C is the best answer. The impact of environmental practices on economic growth is complex and contested. And for letters A, B, and D, these outcomes are more directly linked to the policies, like The strict regulations are likely to reduce pollutions. Incentives are likely to encourage green innovation. For letter D, voluntary compliance is likely to lead to greater business satisfaction than heavy fines. So letter C is the best answer. Number 24. A researcher studies a community where social status is largely determined by family lineage. Which of the following theoretical perspectives would be most helpful in analyzing this social structure? Letter A, functionalism. Letter B, symbolic interactionism. Letter C, conflict theory. Or letter D, postmodernism. Okay, the best answer is letter A. Functionalism examines how different parts of society contribute to the overall stability and functioning of the system. So in this case, the family lineage um, serves a function in determining social status, contributing to the social order in the community. So functionalists would analyze how this system works and what its consequences are and what role it plays in the larger society. So letter A, functionalism is the best answer. Um, okay, let's discuss the other choices. Um, Symbolic interactionism, conflict theory, and postmodernism. While these perspectives could offer some insights, they are less directly applicable. For example, conflict theory is more focused on power struggles between groups. Symbolic interactionism examines micro-level interactions and meanings, while postmodernism is concerned with deconstructing grand narratives and questioning objective truths. So functionalism is the best answer. Number 25. A country experiences a rapid increase in immigration. Which of the following potential social consequences is the most difficult to predict with certainty? Letter A, shifts in political attitudes and voting patterns. Letter B, changes in the labor market. Letter C, increased cultural diversity. Or letter D, increased competition for resources. Okay, the best answer is letter A. While immigration can influence political attitudes and voting patterns, the direction and magnitude of those shifts are complex and depend on many factors like existing political climate, how immigrants are integrated in society, or media portrayals of immigration. So it's the least predictable outcome. Mhm. So that's why letter A is the best answer. For letters B, C, and D, these are more directly and predictably linked to immigration. Like, for example, the increased diversity, changes in labor market, and increased competition for resources are all likely outcomes. Number 26. Which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of unintended consequences? Letter A, a government implements a policy to reduce traffic congestions and it successfully achieves that goal. Letter B, a company introduces a new product that becomes a huge commercial success. Letter C, a city builds a new highway to ease traffic, but it inadvertently leads to increased urban sprawl. Letter D, a student studies hard for an exam and receives a good grade. The best answer is letter C. We are talking about unintended consequences, and these are outcomes that are not foreseen or intended by the actions taken. Like, for example, in this situation for letter C, The highway example shows how a well-intentioned policy, like reducing congestions, can lead to unexpected and potentially negative outcome like urban sprawl. Mhm. So that's the best answer. Now for letters A, B, and D, the incorrect choices, these scenarios describe intended and generally positive outcome. So letter C is the only negative. Number 27. Which of the following research questions would be most effectively addressed using qualitative research method? Again, qualitative. Letter A, what is the correlation between income level and voting behavior? Letter B, how do individuals experience and interpret the effects of long-term unemployment? Letter C, what percentage of the population supports a particular political candidate? Or letter D, what is the average age of marriage in a given country? Okay, of course, the best answer is letter B. We are talking about qualitative research, so qualitative research is best suited for exploring complex phenomena and understanding individual experiences and perspectives. So the question about the lived experience of unemployed or unemployment requires in-depth interviews, observations, or textual analysis, which are qualitative methods. Okay, for the rest of the choices, these questions are more effectively addressed using quantitative methods as they seek numerical data and statistical relationships. So letter B is the only choice. Number 28. Which of the following best represents a dependency theory perspective on global economic relations? Letter A. Developing countries should focus on producing goods for export to developed countries. Letter B. Developed countries benefit from the exploitation of resources and labor in developing countries, perpetuating their economic dominance. Letter C. Free trade and open markets benefit all countries equally. Or letter D. International aid is an effective way to promote economic development in poor countries. Okay, the best answer is letter B. Dependency theory argues that global capitalism creates a system of dependence where developing countries are reliant on developed countries. So it emphasizes how the economic activities of wealthy nations can hinder development in poorer nations by extracting resources and exploiting labor. So letter B is the best answer. For the rest of the choices, these choices represent more conventional views on development and trade, not a critical perspective of dependency theory. So letter B is the best answer. Number 29. Which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of cultural diffusion? Letter A. A group of people migrates to a new country and maintains their traditional customs. Letter B. A society develops a unique form of art. Letter C. A country adopts a new constitution. Or letter D. A popular American fast food chains open restaurants in China. The best answer, of course, is letter D. Cultural diffusion is the spread of cultural traits like ideas, beliefs, practices, or technologies from one culture to another. So the fast food chain spreading to China is a clear example of this cultural diffusion. Okay. Now for letters A, B, and C, these options represent cultural transmission. Transmission means passing culture down within a group. It represents cultural transmission, political change, and cultural creation, respectively, but not diffusion. So letter D is the best answer. Number 30. Which of the following best reflects a critical approach into the study of media and its influence on society? Letter A. Counting the number of hours people spend watching television. Letter B. Analyzing how media representations reinforce existing social inequalities and power structures. Letter C. Examining the latest trends in social media usage. Or letter D. Measuring the economic impact of media industry. Okay, the best answer, of course, is letter B. Critical approach. Okay, we are talking about critical approach. A critical approach to media studies, examines how media can perpetuate dominant ideologies and maintain social hierarchies. So it goes beyond simply describing media content or its economic impact and asks who benefits and who is disadvantaged by the ways media represent the world. So letter B is the best answer. Now for letters A, C, and D, these options represent more descriptive or quantitative approaches to study media, but not a specifically critical one. So letter B is the best answer. Okay, and that's it for part two of our social studies major shift review. How did you do? How's your score? Comment your scores below and let me know what topics you want me to cover next. If you find this topic or this session helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you won't miss part 3 and more review content. Okay, so this is Teacher Art reminding you study hard because by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Okay, see you in the next session. Bye bye.